Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Wherever you happen to find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world we're in, this is another scene for Unmask Orlando. This evening we've set our scene in, well, a rather odd place. It's the limousine of one Eve Wright, as she is known to those living in Orlando, with a rather odd collective of people. You have Conrad von Essen, who is on his way to meet with several of the people that are already in this limo, but also to meet with Eve.
So is Conrad
He seems oddly quiet. At least for how Argent knows him. He knows Conrad to be rather personable. Today he seems rather closed off and quiet.
Arjun won't say anything. He is, well, he has his own guests at why he's being so quiet.
We also have Miss Alexandra Diamond in the limousine at the moment.
Who is also pretty quiet, waiting for them to arrive so they can discuss all the current events and issues that have come up.
Also in the limousine, we have Vance, along with his young childer, Roxy, who at the moment has a set of headphones in with music that's loud enough to be heard across the limo.
Me, I want to listen to it.
What kind of music is it?
It's metal music.
Okay, then we're fine.
It seems like the limousine
Hey.
takes a rather roundabout path to wherever it is it's heading. It seems to double back several times. But you do eventually arrive at a interesting looking building. It's not what one would expect. It's actually just a rather simple warehouse at the edge of town.
Arjun will probably be the first to get out. He'll being a gentleman, or kind of, he'll actually open the door for everybody else. Just as he goes, he kind of nonchalantly open the doors for everybody else.
Alexandra will get out of the car. She will be playing nervously with her ring.
Conrad would also step out of the car. He's not nearly as tall as Castiel, but he is tall. He probably stands a good 6'2", 6'3". And Roxy would look over at Vance.
Nope, looks like this is our stop.
Guess so.
Well, yes, this seems to be everybody's spot.
Well, it's almost as if we're in the same car. Oh, wow, that's weird.
Roxy would just kind of roll her eyes a little bit and get out of the car.
Alright. Let's So where are we at?
You are at a rather plain-looking warehouse. Sort of towards the outskirts of town. It seems clear that she doesn't really take the Sabbat as a serious threat. If she's willing to be this far out of town.
Seems safe enough.
Well, either we're safe or we're all gonna die. Either way, let's go. And he'll start walking.
You're greeted by
My dog, apparently.
yes, apparently by your dog, by an elder gentleman dressed in a absolutely exquisitely tailored suit. Good evening. You must be the guests that Lady Eve was expecting.
Indeed. Is she here?
I mean, who else approaches a bland-looking warehouse in the middle of the night, other than invited guests?
There would be a sigh from the gentleman.
I mean, I feel like it's a valid point.
Audrey just smiles.
I
like
mean, you weren't expecting anything else, right? I'd be kind of worried if you were.
Come
I like
inside.
Yeah, Audrey just smiles at the guy in the suit. And looks back at Vance and looks back at the guy.
I mean, I'm not
I like him.
wrong. I feel like that's real right there. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying.
But yeah, he would lead you inside, clearly a little annoyed.
He tried to sound cool. It didn't work.
The warehouse inside, though, the outside is very deceptive. Inside, it is an absolutely lavish building. But it's lavish not in an expected way for, someone who is bordering on a millennia old. It almost seems more Roxy's style. Everything is leather and lace.
Looks like a golf paradise here.
My kind of place.
So the Sabbat killed us and bring us to paradise. Ah well, at least my death was painless.
Wait, what?
Oh no, let's not joke about such things. Not now.
From the back stairs, and the stairs are metal, so it's quite easy to hear the rather heavy thud of thick heels on the steps as Eve descends the steps. Good evening. Come, have a seat. There are rather large leather sofas lining one of the walls. Can I get anyone anything to drink?
Yeah, sure, why not? One for me and Rox, I guess.
Yeah, I'll have something.
Of course. She looks over at the ghoul that brought you guys in. And he hurries off to go fetch drinks for everyone. Keep in mind, this is a ghoul that is, older than pretty much all of you combined, with the exception of maybe Conrad. This is a nearly 900-year-old ghoul.
This will not prevent me from the sass, Shana.
I mean, nothing prevents Vance from the sass.
Nope.
he can, sass all he wants, but I don't think it's going to end well.
No, I'm gonna. I think everything will be fine. I think continued sass will be fine. We can sustain this over centuries if need be.
But yeah, he comes back out a little bit later with several glasses. Most of them are blood. The only one that he knows for sure is capable of eating human food is Evelyn, so he sets down a glass of wine in front of her. Thank you, that'll be all. He nods and just kind of heads off. So, Conrad has given me some updates on the situation, but I would like to hear it from those who were witness. Well, Conrad was obviously witness, but that's an entirely different story. Someone who isn't so attached to the situation.
Well, I suppose I can tell you what I saw. Where would you like me to begin?
Start at the beginning, my dear.
Well, Thorn, I believe you have met him. We were making like
Yes, the old clan Zanisi.
yes,
Yes.
we were making light conversation within the hot tub at the time, and he got a bit, how should I say, overly excited, I suppose, and did make a mention to looking for certain knowledge, noticed knowledge, I believe.
Interesting.
Yes, I have since advised him to be a bit more careful with what he says, where he says it, and with how impulsive he can be sometimes. However, as soon as this happened, the Tremere neonate that we thought was a neonate came out and started reciting some words that I'm personally not familiar with, but I can assume.
If it was mentioned, if Nod's lore was mentioned, one can assume he was quoting the Book of Nod.
Yes, that was my assumption as well.
Definitely not any kind of knowledge a neonate would have.
Mhm. Primogen Von Nersen pretty much dragged him inside, and from what I understand, there was a screaming match, although I couldn't personally hear them. But Thorn did, and he did ask the prince and Conrad if he should intervene. And, well, at this point, both the prince and Conrad were unable to move. So, prompted by the prince, he got out of the hot tub, told me to go with him, and I followed. And once we got inside, what I witnessed is Imogen Vanessa holding her dislocated jaw. And of course, my first instinct would be to whisk her out of there, but as soon as I tried to go to her, I was also frozen in place. And almost immediately, both me, Thorn, and little Ely were flying across the room. Somehow, Thorn managed to talk him down enough so we could take Katya out of there. And at that point, she did explain to us that this is not really a neonate, but actually it is her husband who was supposedly staked and left for the sunlight, but somehow survived.
There are a number of ways that could have happened, but
Well, that's pretty much.
that tells me that this is an elder Tremere. Not someone you want to trifle with, unless, of course, well, there are ways.
To be fair, didn't we already know that?
Well, I doubt you know that her husband was the former Prince of Berlin.
And
Would she? I see. Would she have told Arjun?
That's
Yeah, she would
interesting.
have told Arjun.
Yeah, Arjun will say. Yeah, actually, I did know that.
I always had the venture around Berlin.
um, and there's also this other thing that we learned about him. That
Do tell.
apparently he's also an infernalist.
Interesting.
He was blunt hunted. That's why he was staked. That's why they lifted him to the sun. Apparently, it wasn't enough.
No, there are ways around being staked.
See, here's what I don't get. Why do people always just do what they do in the movies and leave the bad guy to die? Why don't they ever watch him die?
Well, who knows? But yes. So we are dealing with not only an infernalist, an elder infernalist.
Casaria.
Not just hers, mine and Castiel's as well.
Conrad, I have to ask. Um, what extent of control does he have over each one of
He has clearly gained more power since his supposed death. But he never could use certain powers on me. They never did work.
What kind of powers?
He's quite adept at not only the mind affecting powers that come with being Tremere. He has also demonstrated the ability to use the Toreador skill of emotional manipulation.
Might know a thing or two about that.
In addition to, of course, the blood magics.
So he's a.
And given that he had an entirely different face, I would guess he has learned some vicissitude.
Or obfuscate. They're easier than the former, but. Oh yeah, he'll actually go to Roxy and he'll just say, "Vicissitude is like you can." It's like pottery, but with like skin and bone.
Oh, gross.
It's pretty gross. Usually, only like the worst do it. Usually, it's like how to say it's like it's a discipline of the baddies. But it's
awesome.
Yeah, kinda. It's usually everybody we hate has it. It's kind of weird how that works out in the end. But yeah, usually if someone has it, they usually suck.
So I guess this guy sucks.
Yeah, basically. This guy worships demons, which is really bad, and means we definitely have to kill him somehow, some way, because demons are pretty much a universal no-no for all of us. Kind of nice how that works out, actually. Now we all have reason to hate this piece of shit.
You know, other than being a woman beater and several other, kind of atrocious things he's done, apparently.
Yeah, but like some of us are also pricks and may not care about those bad things.
Well, you care. You just don't want to let people know.
I care about the woman beating thing, but I'm just saying some of us might not, because some of us are not always that good. We aren't nice. But that's neither here nor there. So he likes to get people to do stuff for him rather than do it himself, is basically what I'm getting. He uses sorceries and mental fuckery to basically to achieve his goals indirectly.
I'll put it this way. Most of the blood magic I learned from him.
Cool. So, what do you know he knows? Because that's kind of a start for us.
I know for a fact, at the very least, he knows movement of the mind, I believe was the name of it.
I don't know what that is. You'll need to elaborate.
Basically telekinesis.
Okay.
That makes sense.
He can move a heinous amount of weight with it. He can also use a path that will bring you straight to a fire, despite your damnedest intentions to avoid it.
So he'll bring us to a fire?
A lure of flames.
So he has... Okay, so he can throw fireballs. That's also useful.
To be fair, that sounds more like him bringing fire to us than him bringing fire.
Alright, so he can do that.
Apparently he can also do that in the... There's an infernalist path of that one. You do that too.
Setting on fire people is just a breeze.
Okay, so evil demon fireball and telekinesis. What else?
Well, he did freeze both the prince and Connor in place, and then myself. Whatever.
That was Probably movement of the mind, if I had to guess.
Oh. It looks like you're right, Alex. But, yeah, is, anything else?
Hang on, I gotta check which other paths they have in common. I know they have Path of Mercury in common.
I don't like you.
Yeah, they both have Path of Mercury. I think Marcus just has it to a greater extent.
Okay. Alright, so...
I think his is the full 5 dots of Path of Mercury, whereas Conrad's is 4.
Big oof.
Oh, and Path of Blood's Curse.
Ooh. Wait. What's
Also,
that?
that one is fucking nasty. It's an older path, but it's from when I built him the first time.
Oh, it's from Revised. Okay.
It's from Revised. It's fucking nasty. Hang on. Where are my fucking paths? There we go. Ooh, excuse me. Where'd it go? No, not Gift of Morpheus. So then, of course, he has Path of Blood, but that's, basic as all shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Path of Blood's Curse. 1 dot is Ravages of the Beast, cause the target to frenzy. Ignore my child. 2 dots is Weight of the Sun, make the vampire feel the effects of being awake during the day. Abated Tooth, prevent a vampire's fangs from extending. Treacherous Bonds, temporarily corrupt a blood bond, turning love to hate.
Damn.
And 5 dots is The Withering of Ages, cause a vampire to decay to their true age.
Shit.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah, that one's nasty. The Path of Blood's Curse is fucking broken as all shit.
How the fuck are we gonna kill this guy?
To be fair, Conrad also has Path of Blood's Curse.
Yeah. Hilariously, Vance is the most protected from that path.
Because he's so yeah. Well, actually, I'd say your child is the most protected.
His
Yeah.
use, his relative use and his aversion to the blood bond is what actually makes him more resistant. But ultimately,
Yeah, Conrad can actually turn that path back on Marcus, though, because he also has it at 5 dots.
the nasty sun is Weight of the Sun.
Yeah,
Because that one
make them
doesn't.
feel the effects of being awake during the day.
In my opinion, that should be level 5. Because because that can't be cancelled out. Withering of Ages they give you a get out for, but it don't give you a get out for Weight of the Sun, and it's much more punishing.
Yeah, I definitely feel like those two. But it doesn't matter because they both have 5 dots in it. So
I assume that path is explained in a very simple way to the group.
yeah, he would explain, like, break it down as simply as he feasibly can. He'd break it down fucking Barney style.
Okay, so it's kind of like just exacerbating our limitations. Sweet. Okay.
Basically.
Well, I mean, that could be pretty useful. I mean, if you can just inherently limit someone like that.
But I know just as much about that path as he does. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, then he's probably not going to walk straight up to you, because if you can do that sort of shit to him, then a lot of his advantages as an elder just kind of vanish.
we're both elders.
Yeah.
He's my twin brother. Or was.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, right?
I don't know what that thing is now.
But you know what I'm getting at. Like, he can't just take you on because you can just snap your fingers and go, nope, you're as shit as I am. You more or less even the playing field entirely, and suddenly, oh, his assured victory isn't so assured.
Exactly.
Yeah. Alright.
I'm pretty much his only concern at this point. He can't control me like he can the others.
Okay. How's he controlling the others? Just using what he normally does, like dominate presence?
That, and he's added a blood bond on top of it.
Oh,
How he controlled Katya for the very few years after he embraced her.
As far as his ability to to manipulate our emotions go,
As far as the Infernalist paths go, I don't know what he has.
I mean, I don't really know much about demonic voodoo.
Nor do I. I try to, avoid the demonic voodoo, as you so aptly called it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know much about this sort of... I mean, it really just... I don't know why it's called magic. It just kind of sounds like other disciplines, really. But,
It's because of the origins of our clan, but
okay.
I don't think any of us really knows much about these things.
To be honest, I think the biggest problem is the fact that he can teleport. Like, if he can just ping himself around the place, how are we going to pin him down?
he can ping himself, as you called it, up to 500 miles away.
Yeah, so if we ever just corner him, he can just say, fuck
And
it, I'm
for
out.
as long as he can expend blood, he can continue to go.
Yeah,
As far as I know, he only diablerized his way to 6th generation. I don't know what he's done since then.
oh, that makes him pretty nasty. Fuck.
So Katya's the 7th generation, while Castiel and myself are 10th.
Oh! Secret babbies. Alright. So...
What is his obsession with Katya?
Actually,
No.
yeah.
would often say this, know this.
No,
Okay.
this is not something she would have talked about. This isn't something that she knows, even.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Conrad would kind of sigh just a little bit and run his hands through his hair.
Yeah. That she never told me.
When Marcus turned the two of us, myself and Castiel, he thought it would abate some of the loneliness that came with, I suppose, immortality. This was before he started just degenerating into the psychopath he became.
How do you degenerate?
I don't know.
Power corrupts, let's say.
Well, no, it's
The-
not
the
really
man-
that simple.
The man that is here today is nothing like the brother I knew.
Alright. Well,
He's cold. He wasn't always like this.
I mean...
But he met Katya during our time in Berlin. Or what would eventually become Berlin, anyway.
Alright. Well... I do have a question. Might have an obvious answer, but you might know something I don't. Why the fuck Orlando? Like, why here? What does he want to do? Does he just want revenge?
Here.
He's
Yeah,
here
yeah.
for Katya.
Oh, is that it? Then, I mean,
Yeah,
what's to say he
why?
hasn't already left?
I don't get it.
If
Why?
he just wants to catch her, he can just blood bond her and leave, right?
He wants all three of us.
But he doesn't.
Oh, so as long as
As long as
Mr.
I still have free will, he's not going to leave.
He'll be
Alright.
going for a while.
Alright, that brings up another question. Can he find you? Can he track you?
He's got none of my blood, none of my hair.
He can
He
probably
needs some part of me to track me.
Okay.
summon you, though. Am I right?
What was that, Alex? You're speaking very quietly into the mic, Christine.
That he could summon you.
Oh yeah, he could.
He could.
That could be a problem, actually. If he leaves a strong enough impression on you, we're gonna have to hold you down. I don't know if I can do that. That'd be tough.
I don't think you could, honestly. I will be real with you. Conrad is strength 5, potence 4.
Can't all maintain his pride and his ego.
Yeah, I will be real with you. I wouldn't try it.
Would counter summoning work?
You'd have to get. Is that add a character in character?
No, that's. I don't know yet.
Okay, that's not a very helpful comment.
He's also stupidly intelligent, so. His charisma's not great, but
Right.
Yeah, but can he be counter summoned?
I mean, look, I
maybe?
really,
Like
I've never seen a counter summoning attempted, but I would
nor have I.
BRB.
I would assume. This is Vance speaking, by the way. I'm just gonna you know apply what's called a bit of common sense and say whoever leaves a stronger impression on the person wins.
in
And
that
considering Marcus is his twin brother,
yeah, there's no chance.
I mean, that's not how something works.
Yeah.
ow.
Babby.
Yeah, Babby. Babby is fucking abusive.
Alright. Well, okay. Then you probably... not to like sound like I want to babysit you or anything, because I don't think anybody does. But you're probably going to want a couple people around you if you do get someone then, because that's kind of a big deal.
Evelyn would pipe up. I can handle that.
Neat.
Conrad, you're strong, but... I'm sorry, my dear, but you don't hold a candle to me.
And in a worst case scenario, you know, if you feel like it's necessary, or I mean, if we feel like it's necessary, because I mean, we're vampires. You know, you could always just be staked, in which case it kind of becomes a non-issue.
Why
yeah.
would that be considered as an idea?
Well, I mean,
because if I can't hold him back, which I may not be able to. Actually, wait.
Well,
I need to look at Healer Valerian.
Healer Valerian does not cancel out presence, no.
No, but can it cancel out blood bonds?
No.
Damn it. Okay, never mind.
Blood bonds do not count as derangements. They are a separate condition that is not so easily subverted.
She could just, dementation 6 his ass.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. to be fair,
she is scary as all shit.
To be fair, that just fucks him up in the head. He'll still follow the summon. He'll just be really sad about it.
No, I mean she could just dementation 6 fucking Marcus.
Oh yeah. I mean that's handy.
Like, if it comes down to it, she can do it. She could also, take his derangements.
Yeah. But
The sociopathy and the megalomania.
okay. So what else can this asshole do? Let's see. We got he can mentally mess with people. He can cast magic, which is a whole lot of
Yes,
things.
magic. A whole lot of it.
People.
And okay, so do we know what?
By the way,
Yeah.
you don't have to look him in the eyes to be dominated by him.
Yeah, I figured. I've seen that trick before. I don't see a
Yes,
lot
he
of elder
simply
tricks,
has to
but that's one of
touch
them.
you.
Well, I mean, that's what a gun is for.
He's as fast, as strong, and as resilient as I am.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yes, they both have fortitude, potence, and celerity 4.
And so what you're telling me is that we need some sort of fucking... We all just need to take fucking high caliber fucking rifles, load them with tracer rounds, and see if we can find this guy's house and just sit there for 5 hours. Jesus. Alright. Alright, so he's really fast, really tough, and really strong. Okay, this guy doesn't seem like he has a whole lot of weaknesses. What about his... Well, actually, that does bring me to another point.
His actual physical stats are not great.
Yeah, but potence 5, fortitude 5, celerity 5. Just insane.
Yeah.
But what about his do you know about his model contacts?
He doesn't have any.
Oh shit, okay. Oh. Okay. Opening.
Except,
Excellent.
well, there is his herd, but that's it.
And he's probably gonna have Darian fucking Catcher doing that shit for him. Okay, who is herd? Wait, who is herd? Who is herd? They could actually be really fucking important.
It's some kind of cult that he has under his sway.
Okay. Holy shit, I can't believe I'm actually going to suggest a fucking collaring someone. But, alright, okay, that's a lead. That's an immediate lead right there, because he will go to his herd, and he might even be dumb enough to take his herd to his house. That might be an actual thing. If
He's
nothing
still
else...
staying in Chantry.
Alright. But he has to go out and get his herd, right?
Yes.
Alright.
BRB, guys.
Then that gives us reliable openings. Because that cult, if it acts like an organized religious body, as a cult does, then they will have regular meetup points and times. Which means we just need to wait. We just need to find out about this cult, keep track of it, and find out where they're regularly meeting. That's our opening.
And then what?
And then we kill the fucker. I mean, this guy is an abusive psychotic who worships literal demons. And that's probably what the cult is for? I'm just gonna take a guess. Seems very demony. Like, I don't know why, that sounds very
You would be
two-dimensional.
correct.
I don't think it would be that simple, though.
How, what? Well, I mean, of course it's not gonna be that simple. This guy's a fucking elder who fucking glamorized, what, like 3 people? Like, half of which were elders?
I mean, we could take out the cult somehow.
Well, no, because
Oh, and I will warn you that he's not actually 6th, he's 5th.
Well,
That
I mean,
all
we
Conrad
don't know that in
knows
character.
about.
Yeah.
All
We
that Conrad
shouldn't-
knows
yeah.
about is 6th.
Yeah, but no one in character knows that at some
Knows.
point.
Yeah.
But my point being, we can't destroy the cult. If we destroy the cult, we lose our lead. Other than that, we just burn the fucking chantry to the ground. And like, I don't know, like
that too. actually.
Right. Let's be real. Like, if this guy's as dangerous, like, oh, Vance's
Blessed be
please.
dear.
Like, there aren't many people I've heard of who sound more dangerous than this guy. So, my suggestion would be keep track of the cult. Because, I mean, if we find out also where they're meeting, then we can work around that. Like, the Chantry is going to be a small fortress. I mean, we could build up enough sway to have it demolished during the day. I mean, but that's if we don't mind the Prince and the Primogen being casualties in that. And well, I'm pretty sure someone here has objections.
I think we all do.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. That and the cult is something we can, how to say, the Chantry is more or less out of our control. It's just going to sit there. It's a fortress. He has all the control over that he needs. The cult, however, if we find out where they're meeting up in advance or something, that gives us an advantage. Suddenly, part of that situation is now in our control. Because we can alter the location. We can alter the battlefield, as it were.
You made me on to something.
I mean, I would prefer to keep human casualties down to a minimum. It kind of depends how deep they are into this cult and just how he's affected
They
them.
are.
It's questionable. Yeah, like how
It goes
compromised.
deep.
Yeah, well, how compromised? Because you're the occult expert here. Like, are they even human at this point?
Barely.
Okay, well that doesn't sound very good. Yeah.
Well,
They're monsters at this point. They're just as bad, if not worse, than we are.
if they meet in a specific location each time, we can make that location blow up.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I have no shortage of people who know how to fire a gun. So it's not really a numbers game. I mean, if it comes down to who has more bodies, I'm actually pretty comfortable with that situation. But
I wouldn't want to throw a bunch of people to their deaths.
nah. But we don't really know what these cultists can do, and we're already dealing with a highly dangerous figure. I need to consider this. I don't consider things a lot, but
Yeah, I don't either. I say
so
No,
how do
you
we
don't.
how do we kill this asshole? Because this is going to happen during the night. He's going to be safe during the day, because he's going to be hanging out in the Chantry with the rest of his Tremithak buddies. No offense.
he's
I was
not,
gonna say, come on.
he's not immune to fire, is he?
Can you be immune to fire? Is that a fucking thing? I mean, I know some of us are more resilient than others, but I've never heard of immunity. Fire still kills us. Even those of us who are resistant are usually killed pretty quickly.
Nah, you sure as shit ain't immune to fire. He might know how to wield it, but
Well, if he goes in a cult meeting and he's in a specific location, and this location is rigged with something big enough, maybe we don't need to sacrifice any of ours.
Well, I may be able to import some high quality ammunition for y'all.
I think many of us have our edge on that regard.
Yeah, I have.
I mean, it's not really about money, it's about access. The question is, do you have the access? I asked that because I actually have the access. Do you have the access?
I'll talk to my contacts in the local police department.
Yeah, because I mean, if you have the access, it ain't a problem. But if it is, I'm always open for business, yada yada yada, etc.
We'll find access. That shouldn't be a problem at all. As long as we're able.
Roxy is just kind of taking all of this in.
Yeah, this is
This is all
Alright.
pretty what the fuck for her.
Yeah, so fucking Christ. Alright, so let's see. So we got a place. Shit. The problem is, even if we hit, we're gonna have to take him out real fast, though. And if he has celerity, then we're gonna be in a bit of trouble because he could his. I mean, that doesn't just affect the body; it affects the mind, right? Like he can think fast.
Celerity isn't the issue here. Teleportation is the bigger.
Well, that's what I mean. They work together. Celerity affects the your speed of thought. So if he can think faster than any of us, if he can act faster than any of us, then he'll be able to just port himself out of there. What we really need is like some sort of thing that could anchor him. Maybe I don't know.
Conrad, is this even possible for him to be anchored?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. It's something that I can do research into.
Yeah, I have some people
We've
like
got a
up there.
hellacious fucking library, so.
Is he more intent? Sorry, looking how to word it. I'll say, is he more the style to use dominate or presence? Which one is he better at?
He's better at dominate, but they're both ridiculously strong.
Yeah, when you've eaten that many people of that age.
I'm also kind of resilient at, well, not dominate, but resisting emotional manipulation. As Conrad would Conrad would know that Arjun has not only has willpower 8, but also has the Heart of Thorns merit.
I'll be better in a couple of months.
So
I'm afraid we don't have a couple of months.
I mean, in theory, as long as Conrad doesn't get his ass captured, which I mean, to be fair, he hasn't so far. We have a lot of time, I think.
Well,
exactly. We have as long as any of us can live. So
do the rest of the Primogen know about this, by the way? Because I mean, you probably don't want them reporting. You probably don't want the fucking Nosferatu of all people reporting to a guy who's being controlled by, well, an Invertalist.
I have let the Primogen Council become aware.
Okay. So, quick question: is because the prince is currently, shall we say,
compromised?
Yeah, in absentia. I would assume. I would assume the city is not going to pay heed to him. He is not to be accepted as the prince as of right now.
No,
like maybe
not
all of this...
until he's been given back control of his own mind.
Okay, because... So that kind of leads to question.
If I can get blood from each of them, I can break the blood bonds.
Okay.
But I need their blood.
Okay. Well, that means we need to go find them. I don't know if we don't.
The prince has been out and about.
Okay.
He's kept Katya close, though.
That's fine. That's fine. Two birds with one stone.
And Castiel has refused to leave Katya's side, so...
Alright, well, that's three birds.
And I believe, and he'll look to Conrad, us being closest to them are the best candidates at getting their blood.
Probably not the best to send me in.
No. You're way too valuable in this operation, sir. Like, we need you to be as far away from them as humanly possible. I mean, to be honest, if I were someone of any ranking authority, I would be telling you to get the fuck out of the city, and would probably be asking the Camarilla to send in fucking Archons or some shit. But
Getting out of
A
this.
red Alistair is being sent.
Red Alistor, this guy's on the fucking red list. Jesus.
He
Which
wasn't, but he will be very soon.
Oh, who died?
Is Katya in danger if that happens?
Yeah.
Yes, he can command her to do whatever he pleases.
Yeah, and like the Red Alistor isn't gonna give a shit if Katya gets in the way. Like, they're there for a singular reason to kill the fucking Red Lister. If they have opposition, they kill the opposition.
Do we know when this Red Alistair coming in?
That's a good question.
Unknown, currently.
Yeah, probably for the best considering the entire city's compromised. Could be it right now.
I could take Katya away for a while.
Good luck getting her away from Marcus.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't advise that. She'd probably just mindfuck you into joining the happy little demon cult.
Yes, she's nearly as... Ow, Nelson.
You'll find I'm quite resilient when it comes to that kind of thing.
She has a voice that'll cut through just about anyone's mind.
Yeah, don't take
Yours as well.
Don't take chances of this shit. What are we doing? No, well, okay.
Are we going to let her die?
No.
I mean, if you want to get in the way of a Red Alistor, go ahead.
Do you
I'm not.
honestly think I would let her die?
Then what are the solutions? What do we do?
I mean,
Three of them,
okay.
three of us. Holy shit.
That's not, no, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not putting myself in the middle of a firing line in front of 3 elders, and I'm certainly not putting fucking Roxy in that firing line.
With that, I agree.
I wouldn't ask you to whoop your...
I mean, well, that's what's being implied here. I'm just stating my position, and if anyone wants to try and mindfuck me into doing that, I will be importing specialist ammunition for anyone who does that.
You have been spending way too much time with her Camarilla.
Pardon?
Yes, well, you have been embraced into the Camarilla. You have been spending way too much time with the Camarilla.
But they're fucking everywhere. Like, what do you expect? But that doesn't.
It's way more of us that can be involved in this.
Wait a second. Okay, why are we discussing this amongst ourselves? Right? I mean, yeah, Evelyn's here, and hi, Evelyn. This is all real cute and nice, and thank you.
Actually, she doesn't go by Evelyn, she goes by Eve.
Oh, Eve. Thanks, Eve. This is real nice and all, but why aren't we discussing this with, like the rest of the Primogen and the elders whose job it is to kind of make sure shit like this doesn't happen? Or when it does, contain it.
Because I'm the oldest elder in this city.
Yeah, but where are the rest of the Primogen? And actually, would any of these titles even apply while the prince is effectively being contested?
No. At this time, effectively we have no Primogen Council.
Alright.
No prince, no sheriff.
So who contests the prince's praxis? Because I think that person's going to be a target.
The main person I can think of that would put themselves in that position would be the Toreador Primogen, Theodius, whatever his name is.
Alright. then we'll probably need to have a word with him about everything we've discussed. Or not. I mean, if you want him to die, then, I mean, not telling him what's going on is a great way to go about that, I guess.
He was an extremely rigid man.
I mean, I don't like rigid people. Still, I'm not psychotic.
Kind of ironic for Towardle.
Not really.
He's very much a traditionalist.
Yeah. But, what do you think, Roxy? Do you even understand half the terms they're using? Because I don't think I've told you about half of them.
No, I don't. I'm fucking confused with all shit right now.
Oh,
And
okay.
you guys aren't fucking helping at all.
Okay.
I'm
What do you
sorry.
need? What do you need touching up here? What do you need translating?
Fucking all of it.
Okay. So all right. So Prince is a Tremere. They're basically blood magicians.
I
they
mean,
grow
you
fireballs.
explained that part.
Yeah. But I'm just going over it because, you know, it helps us start from ground zero. And another Tremere has shown up, and he has demon magics instead, which is even worse than the blood magics. And he has basically taken control of the Prince and the Tremere Primogen, which is the leader of the Tremere clan. Primogen is the leader of a clan in a city. And that basically gives him control over the city by proxy, right? You follow me so far?
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay. So infernalism, i.e. worshipping demons, is like the only thing everybody from everywhere can agree on is bad.
I mean, common fucking sense.
You would be surprised how little that applies to kindred civilization, but yeah, it's like the demon thing is like the one thing which kind of all brings us together, you know, reminds us we're all one big happy family. So him being in charge not only is kind of massively, I mean, it's kind of a giant coup. It's also kind of a massive issue because you now have one giant evil, borderline apocalyptic motherfucker wanting to destroy the city, or take revenge, or I mean, just in general, just be an asshole. And bye. He now, I mean, I'm actually reasonably impressed that no one has said, why don't we just hand over Comrade? I'm actually, you know, I give an ounce of faith for humanity in Kindred that nobody has suggested that.
Really?
Perhaps because Conrad is the key to resolving this, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, in theory, you could just hand him over to the guy and he'd leave, right? Because then he'd have all the people he wanted.
I was going to
don't
go with
think
because
that-
Conrad is a friend, but okay, sure, whatever.
I don't
I
think
mean,
that would work.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm happy. I'm reasonably impressed that nobody suggested this because I expected you all to do so.
If you could,
What kind of people have you been hanging out with?
I mean,
Most Kindred,
I
most Camarilla. When were you born? Have you been in a Camarilla city for like more than 2 months? Have you been in a Kindred populated city for more than a few months? This is how shit works.
I don't roll with the Camarilla.
Okay, well, I mean, from what I hear, the Independents are arguably even worse.
I was gonna say he's Ravnos.
Okay. But
in any case, fans, if you
Wait,
could
what the fuck's a Ravnos?
Ravnos, they're like they're kindred. They're like not part of the Camarilla, and they're kind of they travel a lot. They hail from India. They and they can make illusions and have a thing with destiny, but I don't really know much about it. Really not much about them. Not many of them really show up in the West. Like you kind of get small groups of them. They're more prominent in India and in Asia and the Middle East, from what I from what I gather. You don't really see too many of them in America and Europe. Every now and then you'll run into a few, but they're not like this massive presence. It's not like with the Bruja, you're gonna find a Bruja in goddamn near every American city there is. But Ravnos tend to be like, like 1 in
Okay.
10 or something, But yeah. So that's what Ravnos is, and there's one right there. And he just points at Arjun. Any a guy. He does exist.
Okay.
Arden does a little like wave, when you wave with your fingers kind of thing.
He just kind of points at you. But yeah, so that's Ravnos. They do illusion things, and apparently some of them can even hurt, but not most of them. But that's what I gather. Where were we?
Anyway,
So right, yeah. Okay.
as I
So
was
wait.
saying that,
Wait, no, you have to
So
continue telling.
demons and magic and illusions and
Yeah.
fuck my life.
I still need to tell you the story. So basically, obviously, it's really bad that this one asshole now effectively controls the city through the person who should be running it. And that's really bad, and that's why you have to make sure he dies, because if not, he's probably going to fuck over everybody. Or we just hand over Conrad and he might leave, but that's also kind of a dick move, and is basically murder by proxy. And I like to think,
Yeah,
well,
no, I wouldn't fucking let that happen. That's
there
some
you go
fucking
then.
bullshit.
So there you go. So you got that. And I read Alastors. So Alastors are like, did I ever mention Archons? Archons are basically like,
Yeah, you mentioned those.
yeah, they're kind of pricks. Alastors
Yeah,
are
you also
like,
mentioned that.
they're like the super elite version of Archons. They hunt down people on the red list, and the red list is basically like the FBI's most wanted list, but for
Okay.
for Kindred.
The kindred's most wanted list.
Yeah, well, I mean, Camarilla. It's the Camarilla's most wanted list. But I mean, the Camarilla is basically Kindred Society, kind of half and half. Not really. It's kind of a giant fabrication. But you know what I mean. It's the FBI's most wanted for Kindred. So if this guy's gonna get put on it, I've only heard there's only ever been 13. I don't really know why that is, but if he's going to get put on it, it's kind of a big deal. And if a red Alistor's coming down, usually they come in teams. So maybe they think he's less of a threat because he's new. But yeah, if they're sending him down, then that means they think he's a threat to the existence of the Camarilla, which is kind of a big deal because it means they consider him a global threat. Which means he's probably got more in his arsenal than just I want to fuck over Orlando. This is probably like,
Well, that's fucking great.
yeah, it's probably like Orlando's probably just his first step in what is a centuries-long plan or some shit, or the combination of it. Kind of, I guess it depends on your interpretation. But yeah. So what we've got, so needless to say, this kind of puts him on everybody's hit lists, including ours. And we need to we need to find a way to deal with that. And that's why this guy is bad and why we need to get rid of him. And I normally wouldn't just consider straight murder the solution here, but this guy's kind of a fairly black and white case, to be completely honest. Kind of like the Sabbat. They're all kind of black and white cases of just kill them or run away. You're doing yourself a favor by picking one or the other. I think of red listers, we're not even supposed to kill them. I think we're just supposed to run away and tell everybody that they're here so the rest of us can run away and red Alastors can come in and start murdering. But I guess this is a unique situation for unique people. Welcome to the Unique People's Club. Does it feel fun? Are you having fun?
No, it fucking doesn't.
When Van says this, Arden does look at her with a thumbs up.
Aw, you should have more fun, Roxy. Why are you being such a spoil sport? But
She would just kind of elbow him in the ribs. Fuck you, asshole.
Ow, you have potence now.
Yes, she does.
I like that one.
But I mean, you like a lot of people.
Well,
Wink.
that's how I am.
But yeah. So
She was just kind of lean on Vance a little bit.
So yeah, just wrap her arm around her arm, and just say. So that's kind of why his situation's really bad, and it's kind of why I think we're in a fairly. You know what I think we need to do? I think, and this is going to sound. I'm not sure what you're going to think about this, Conrad, but I think it's probably the lesser of two evils. I think we need to completely fuck the temporal influence of Darian and Katja.
Oh god.
I mean, look, if this guy, and this guy, he comes across as, how to say, from what I've heard and what he's been doing, he has a lot of personal power, right? But he's relying on Darian and Katja for all of his political power.
Yes.
But I don't just mean like kindred, I mean mortals. Like, they're the ones that do all the people stuff to him because they have a connection to people, and he seems to have given up on that. And that's kind of what happens when you start eating people. It's not always easy to hold on to yourself, and if he's worshipping demons, then he's really far gone. He seems pretty invested in a very niche project with this cult. So if we can start eroding that, then suddenly the Chantry is going to be a lot more vulnerable. On top of that, it gives us an opening to use our own respective connections. Because if we run at him with what we have,
I will say this: if he does decide to pull back into the Chantry, there will be no getting to him. I could take care of it, but I have placed so much warding on the library that none of you would be able to get in.
How does a ward stand up to Semtex? I'm curious.
It's magic? I don't fucking know.
What? What? No, you're a Tremid. That's kind of your shtick.
I've never tested my wards against Semtex.
Spoiler, they don't. It's like a narrator. How did he stand up to Semtex? The narrator. They didn't.
Yeah, Conrad's like, I don't fucking know. I've never tested it.
Well, I mean, I can't just run a dump truck into it if that's what it comes down to. But
well, maybe we should.
The Chantry itself isn't warded. The library is, which is underneath the Chantry.
All right, but you know what I mean. Like, if we can remove the power of Katja and Darian, then yeah, I get it. Like, it's a bit of a touchy thing for you because it's kind of neutering the power of your own clan and your own people. But I mean,
just a little bit.
But I mean, look, it's either we perform the rather magical act of extracting blood from 3 elders while they're all together, or the Rad Alistor and the rest of us go and kill them. Like, this is probably the most merciful option. And at the end of the day, they can always build that back up. But right now, that is their own power is being weaponized against us. It's a barrier towards us taking down.
Darian is probably the most politically powerful of the two.
Okay, but I know. Yeah, but Katja gave me $3.5 million, so I know she has plenty of connections too, and money and money.
She has insane amounts of money. All of us do.
Yeah, but like, where is it coming from? Where's her power base? You know, that's what I mean. Like, if we can, like, who are her ghouls? Who are her contacts? Who
she doesn't have ghouls.
Okay, okay, that actually makes things a lot easier. Who works for her? Who are her main points of contact with the model world?
It's my ghouls and my brother. Not my brother. Well, he is my brother in a way, but Castiel's ghouls.
Because if those ghouls and any mortal she has under sway, whether it's through domination, presence, or witchcraft,
she doesn't have presence.
You know what I mean.
She's absolutely terrible at magic.
Okay. Oh, that's Gossip. But
I
yeah,
love the
alright.
woman, but goddamn, is she a terrible blood mage?
Alright. Interesting. But okay, at least that's one less thing to be worried about. But okay, so she
Castiel is also absolutely a failure at all things blood magic, but
so
he's physically stronger than I am.
So, okay, question. Who does actually work for her, or is it just you and Castiel's ghouls that do all the heavy lifting and she just happens to have a ton of independent money, independent income?
They work for her in her salons and her spas.
Okay, so she has. Do we have names?
Yes, I have names for everyone. I keep the books.
Okay, names, places, and times, and we can get to work. Because if we can remove them from the picture, either temporarily or permanently, whether that means getting them fucking fired or imprisoned or just like sending them on a brief holiday, it's like that's gonna make our lives easier because it means they're going to be more vulnerable, which means extracting them from the evil demon cult man is going to be a lot easier. And I think that's something the other clans are going to be very, how to say, much better at, they're going to be very happy to help with, I think. So I think they're going to really be happy, one, having their titles removed because the prince isn't fucking in a position to be a prince. And two, they're not, I don't think they're going to be happy with a demon cult man in the city. So I think they're going to be happy to help. If they want to fucking charge me for it, I will kick their shit in. I don't care how old they are.
If anyone is going to challenge for praxis, I suppose I would be the best option.
I could go with you at the prince.
I mean,
Yes,
yeah, you're
well.
going to have Theodius, but I mean, if you want to put him out of...
I'm over 300 years older than he is.
Yeah, but...
And significantly more powerful.
Okay, those people will care. He points to the rest of the group.
Yes, exactly.
Those people can care for you, because I just don't. But I mean, to be fair, you look like
there would be a little glint in her eye as he says that.
you seem to be. I'm gonna roll empathy. Advance, old boy. He is bad at this. He is so bad at this. I do love his terrible empathy dice. It's one of the few characters I have who has less than 4 dice of empathy. Actually, the only one.
I suppose I need to do manipulation and subterfuge, huh?
It's fine. He fails. He doesn't. He sees a glint in her eye and proceeds to just not care. I think that's the thing. With I think that's the thing. About
let's see. She could still botch. The dice may not be on her side. Who knows?
Okay, but yeah, I like to think it's not that Vance isn't capable of seeing of empathizing with people. It's just that he just generally chooses not to. It's not that he.
Oh nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh shit.
It's not that he.
And her lovely manipulation specialty comes into play there. So that is actually 7 successes.
So he proceeds to not see anything and care even less, as Vance does. So he'll say, all right, then I would say probably, I mean...
We also have a neonate in the chantry. An actual neonate.
Well, they're completely fucked. I don't think they're going to be happy with this situation.
Anyway, we can get them out.
Yes, I can get her out.
Yeah, or
She's rather attached to Castiel, but...
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh yes, the one that was yes, I forgot
See,
about.
this is
Oh,
why you
yeah.
shouldn't dare to attach your elders. They end up getting controlled by even demon cult men. I mean, I called it. I didn't, but I am now. But okay. Yeah, get that person out. Because, well, I mean, the Red Adder store is definitely going to want a word of them because they're going to be in contact range of everyone compromised by this mofo. And yeah, I think contact the other clans because I think the Nosferatu obviously are going to be hella good at gathering information, the whereabouts of this cult, where they're gathering what kinds, the whereabouts of information about our friendly Tremere coldest, any other potential strengths and vulnerabilities we need to be on the lookout for in regards to this red lister and his followers. And well, I mean, I think the Venture and the Toreador and everybody else is going to be real helpful just bringing down this red lister's power in the city. We need to be careful though. He could have compromised other individuals.
It's possible, I suppose.
He seems very focused on the Tremere, but if 5 clans turn on him and he's known to reside within this one location, I don't care how tough that Chantry is proclaimed to be. I mean that will definitely be going down. The main issue will be his dominate, I suppose, but
Would need to see.
It will be extremely unfortunate given how expensive that house was.
Well, I assume you have it. What's the word?
Insured?
Yes.
Not against the supernatural.
How would they know?
I mean,
In any
when
case,
we gather in when we gather in large numbers in a single location, either
It becomes blatantly obvious.
it's either a it's either an Elysium, which is often incredibly boring, or it's one of these sorts of affairs, and it becomes borderline mass grade breach, if not huge mass grade breach, that kind of needs to be shielded by the camera from mass media.
Yeah.
But
And
I
that's
mean,
probably going to be exactly what's going to happen.
I can just have the
I
place
can make it look like
firebombed if
something
need
else.
be. But you know what I mean. Like, look, we have a plan. Go talk to the other clans because I mean, they should they have their own shit to
well,
contribute to this.
yes, I have to ask, however, are we
Also,
certain that the other Primogen will want to help? Maybe they will just
I
let them deal with it.
I see how
Why
hard.
Never know.
why would centuries old elders tolerate being under the control via proxy of a diabolist and infernalist traitor to their sect?
Maybe they see a chance to gain power from that.
Oh yeah, there's a very good chance that they go out of their way to ensure Darren or whoever is killed. Like, I mean, come on. If I were a centuries old elder, it would definitely have crossed my mind. I mean, I'm a neonate and it crossed my mind, I could just give this guy Conrad and it would resolve my situation for me personally, right? Like, like if I wanted to be that guy.
I see. How hard would it be for Arden to make it look like, hey, this is not what is going on at that chantry. Like something else is going on.
I suppose it depends on the scale of how you can construct an illusion.
That also depends on like just what level of we're blowing the masquerade to hell it gets.
Yeah, you
Because I
can't
mean, Arden is
necessarily
on Chemistry 6, so
mask like the bullets. If bullets were flying, you wouldn't be able to mask that. That would be more like obfuscate and vanish, and even obfuscate and vanish wouldn't cover that because it's violence.
I mean, but that's not
Yeah.
masquerade breach.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, because here's the thing, right? You can't. Actually, I suppose you could create. Yeah, you could mask it in theory. Because you can't mask your own appearance of chemistry, but you can give yourself you can summon a bush or a wall to hide behind, for example. So you wouldn't be able to necessarily mask the fire, but you could mask it with some sort of optical illusion that surrounds a greater area than the building itself, which makes it look either mundane or something else. But then people would still, like, you wouldn't be able to silence the sounds of gunshots and stuff, and the sound of fire.
I mean, that's not masquerade breach, but I'm more thinking like, instead of, making it appear like there's actually another reason, a masquerade breaching reason.
Oh, you can solve that
everything
with
that's-
influence.
Yeah, that can all be soaked with influence, and between the people in this room, there is a lot of fucking influence.
Yeah. But
Conrad has police influence 5.
yeah, I think we're fine. But Vance is just gonna continue.
Evelyn's got, fucking high society influence.
Yeah. Vance is just gonna
And then you've got, Roxy, who is like high society, street, and underworld influence.
let them figure it out when we kill them. Smiley face. Friends.
There is a lot of fucking influence in this room.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vance is just gonna go. Look, I think we can solve a lot of this just through our mortal connections, because frankly, it seems that's the one thing this red list lacks. If he did have that, then I'd suggest going after that, because he seems like a very detached and amoral person. But yeah, I would say, yeah, just keep. How to go about this? The best way to deal with a large scale threat like this, I've always found, is you don't head at them. You don't take one big swing at them, because these are people who can come back with an even bigger swing, right? What you do is you hit them with bug bites. You whittle them down until, sometimes without them even knowing, until they're weak enough so that you can take that big swing at them. You work around their strengths and hit their vulnerabilities, right? I mean, it sounds very simple and very tautological. Like, of course, this is obvious, but
Well, it will take time.
we got
Study.
time.
And we might.
We're immortal. We have time. He's not going to kill her.
Yeah, he's probably gonna make her part of the cult friends club, or whatever the fuck he calls it. Maybe just, I don't know, like the.
He's already abusive.
Yeah.
He won't kill her.
Nah, I don't think he'd kill her. He clearly wants her for a purpose. If he wanted to kill her, you'd already be reporting her death.
There are things worse than death.
Yeah, but like, and what's your point? I don't know what your point is.
Well, it worries me.
Katya has survived worse than him.
Like, are you
And
saying
she
we should?
survived him once.
Yeah, are we saying we should move quickly out of concern for Katya? Because like, that would be really nice, but I'm not. I'm not gonna take those risks. That doesn't. That's gonna get people killed.
As much as I would want to, I know that we cannot. We need to study him. We need to get our resources together, come up with the best plan possible, come up
Okay.
with a backup plan if
So
this goes to shit.
Come up with a backup for the backup.
Yeah. And gather as many people, capable people as possible.
yeah, well, what I'm saying is, I mean, you already know what I'm saying. We already have a plan. Fine. We already, like, Conrad has names, places, and times. We know Mr. Badman has a cult, and that's important because it gives us
His real name is Marcus.
Marcus Badman has a he has a cult. That's important because it gives us an opening. We probably don't want to touch that until we've dealt with Dorian and
oh no, definitely
Katya, because Because one, they can get in the way of us interfering with that cult, and two, we don't want to spook him too hard. If we deal with Catcher and Darian, he may not notice. But if we hit the cult, then he'll definitely notice, and then he's going to be right up our ass. So,
is there any way that we could somehow infiltrate this?
infiltrate the cult.
You'd be noticed.
This is a fucking Tremere. Like, keep in mind they have. I mean, this guy already has the ability to filter through suspects with hilarious amounts of mental fuckery. Imagine the power of his sixth sense.
Well, we do need to do some surveillance at the very least. Discreetly, if possible.
Well, look, I'm just gonna see if I can take pot shots at their influence, because I think I can do that, and if I can't, there's a lot of kids in the city who can. It's just about finding the right person for the job, and then we handle that.
Let me know what you need.
And well, I mean, I'm gonna find out when Conrad gives me the list.
Conrad has actually been sitting there writing for the last couple of minutes.
Alright. What's gonna happen is I'll take that list. I'm gonna ask some people outside the city if they can help me out with this whole teleportation thing for the big night. And any other tricks he may have. And we'll focus on retrieving Darian Catcher first by crippling their influence, and then perhaps using that to draw them out. Because if we can find, because we already know who they work for, we could actually use that to extract them. Because I doubt all three of them are going to go investigate one of Catcher's ghouls, or well, not Catcher's ghouls, one of Catcher's friends, or Castiel's ghouls. They're not going to do that. It's going to be Castiel who's going to look after his ghouls, because that's what he's going to be trusted to do, because that's common sense. If they all go after, if they're all looking after their own ghoul, if they're all like going to go after one ghoul, then I mean, I guess we can just set up a pitfall and watch them fall in.
Could we get Castiel by getting his that neonate that he's attached to?
If we get hurt, he might come out.
Maybe.
I mean,
but a kindred's much more.
Consider that he considers her his child.
Yes, but it would be a way to draw him out, and perhaps we can help with breaking his bond first. That would be he would be an asset.
We still need Marcus's blood.
Yeah,
I need both people in the blood bond to break it.
Well, that is a problem then.
All right, I think I got okay. Let's focus on their mortal influence first, and keeping track of this cult. Let's not actually try to interact with the cult. Just find out about it. People who are perhaps family members of people in the cult, etc. So we can keep track of where they're meeting, when, how, what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Is turn that blood bond sour.
If you can time that correctly, that could be really useful. But we need to separate them.
Yes, honestly, even Marcus doesn't stand a chance if Castiel gets a hold of him physically.
Alright. then I think we have a plan that maybe we don't have to retrieve Castiel at all. If you can do your thing when Castiel is in Marcus's presence, and we're there, and we have a way to stop him from just teleporting away, then that should be that. But yes, influence first, names, places, times, etc. We'll work on that, and once we have that, we can take this one step at a time because we have the time. We'll figure out how to use that to draw them out once we have more information, once the Primogen and other kindred of the city are getting involved. Does that sound like a plan?
Evelyn would nod. And by the way, Vance, stay back, if you don't mind. I want to have a word with you.
Okay, but the Roxy's right here.
She can stay if she likes.
Okay, I'll stay.
I have no problem with Roxy, is it? She would just nod.
I suppose we're done here for now.
Yes.
Yeah, shame on
The rest of you can go.
Yeah, shame on all of you. I had to organize this all by myself.
Mm-hmm. We'll keep in touch.
He winks.
You have my number. If you need me, I'm available. Conrad would take the piece of paper and hand it over to, God damn it, would you be quiet?
Who's
To Vance before walking out.
Well, Vance fucked off.
Oh, he dropped out of the call, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
He probably had internet issues, if I had to venture a guess.
Well, you might want to do the rest of the things separately in a different hangout, because I will have to sleep.
Arden will.
Yeah, I can do that conversation after.
Arden will want to talk to Conrad afterwards. Probably
Okay, we can also do that in a separate scene.
Okay. I don't have too much to say there.
What do you mean right away? Come on.
But I have the minute eye of the storm. Arden is fucking staying.
Well, we're all gonna be in the same car, so you know.
I mean, he has his own haven. He can be like, hey, he asks to be dropped off last, and just stays with Conrad a little bit.
Conspiracies upon conspiracies, man. Look at that.
Hey, if we want to turn back and kill your character, we can, okay?
Why would you want to do that?
I'm not. I'm kidding.
Did we end the hangout? If not, you need to end the hangout before we start all this discussion.
Okay.
No, it's still going.
I'm ending it.